You're staring at the number on the screen, $13,000. Not for the year, for the month. And somewhere in the same breath as your parents' diagnosis, you're suddenly doing math you never signed up for. The house, the retirement account, whether your brother would even pick up the phone if you ask him for money. Before you put that amount on a credit card, or your parent starts quietly rationing doses to make it stretch, there is something I want you to know. I've sat with my patients' daughters doing this exact math in the exam room, and most of them never knew there was a program that could have made that number zero. Stick around, because there is also one mistake families make on the applications that can delay getting the medication by weeks, and I really don't want that to be you or your parent. I'm Slava, a nurse practitioner and a daughter actively caring for a parent with cancer. And because my dad is about to lose his insurance, I did a lot of research and ready to share all the caveats I find out so you don't have to spend your time. And stick around till the end, because towards the end of the video, you'll have a complete plan what to do to cover cancer or other expensive treatments not using the insurance. So the oncologist says Keytruda or Opdivo or one of the newer chemo or immunotherapy medications. And it sounds like a good news. This is the one that's working. Then billing calls with the estimate and the good news turns into nightmare. You start Googling, you find GoodRx, and it barely makes a dent because this isn't a $40 generic. It's a biologic infused in a chemo chair. You call the insurance company and get very polite version of, "We'll get back to you." What you probably don't know yet, because almost nobody tells you this, is that the company that makes the drug your parent needs almost certainly runs a program that will just give it to them directly. Not a discount, not a coupon. The actual medication, free or close to it, sometimes shipped straight to your parent's house, sometimes to the doctor's office, depending on the drug. Most daughters find this out by accident weeks in, usually from another patient in the waiting room. Let's get you there on day one instead. Here's why it matters and what tends to happen when families don't know this option exists. They delay a dose because they're waiting on a paycheck. They ask the doctor for a cheaper option that isn't actually the best option, and it's just what they can afford, which is not a conversation you want to have with an oncologist. Or the sibling with more savings quietly starts covering it, and that turns into a resentment nobody talks about for the next 5 years. If your parent takes more than one brand name medication, you might end up dealing with more than one company's program, since each one usually only covers its own drug. That's exactly as fun as it sounds. Several applications requiring pretty much the same information. But if one of those meds costs $13,000 a month, trust me, the paperwork's worth it. First thing first, a copay card, a foundation grant, and a patient assistance program are three totally different things, and many people use these words like they're interchangeable. A copay card is for people who already have insurance and just need help with out-of-pocket costs. And most of those won't even work if your parent is on Medicare or Medicaid. A foundation grant is a nonprofit fund tied to a specific disease. Think Patient Access Network Foundation or Cancer Care, and it opens and closes based on donations, so timing matters. But the Patient Assistance Program, the PAP, comes straight from the drug manufacturer. It is not insurance, and here's a small but genuinely useful trick. Don't Google coupon for, let's say, Keytruda. Search Keytruda Patient Assistance Program specifically. It's completely different, much more useful search approach, and it's one almost nobody thinks to run. We often assume something without having enough of information, and it might be a costly mistake. You might think, we probably make too much to qualify. That one assumption stops more families than anything else, and it's usually just wrong. Though there is no single national rule here. Every company sets its own bar, and it can even be different drug by drug within the same company. Some programs can provide certain medications free after a full year at a time. Others typically look at household income to around 300% of the federal poverty level. And if you actually require your parent to have applied for Medicaid or Medicare's extra help first and gotten denied before they even consider the application, it's genuinely a little different every time, which is annoying, I know. Genentech Prescription Assistance provides free drugs for qualifying patients with a household income under $150,000 if uninsured or underinsured. That's not a program for people with nothing left. So the real question isn't, can we get help? It's, what's the income limit for the patient assistance program on this specific drug? Okay, this is what I ask you to stick around for. You do not have to be uninsured to qualify. If you or your parent has insurance and it denied the drug or approved it with a copay that's basically impossible to pay, most manufacturer programs have a second path in. Sometimes it's called a hardship exception. Sometimes just a line on the application that says insured but cannot afford. Usually the doctor's office attests to that on patient's behalf. Almost nobody asks for this path because almost nobody knows it exists. I myself was not aware of it before I deep dived in the search for the coverage for my father's oncology treatment. When my own family was going through a serious diagnosis, we assumed we have insurance meant we don't qualify for help. We were wrong, and it cost us weeks we didn't need to lose. Some of you know exactly what I mean. So here's what I would actually advise you to do. Step 1, before you call anyone, write down the exact drug name and dose from the prescription, not cancer medication, the actual brand name. The program's tied to the specific drug, not the diagnosis. Let's be honest, many patients don't know the actual name of medication that's being infused because the names are often too complicated to repeat, needless to say, to remember. Step number 2. When you call, dial the number on the manufacturer's website, or better yet, ask the oncology office for their financial counselor or nurse navigator who in that office actually handles medication assistance paperwork. Just say, I'd like to apply for the patient assistance program for, and state the drug name. Can you tell me the income eligibility and what documents you need from us? Step 3. Prepare proof of income like a pay stub or tax return, something showing your parents' insurance status, and if coverage just ended, keep that termination letter. The actual prescription, which usually needs a section filled out by the doctor's office, and signatures. Sometimes you'll need several of them. If the form asks whether your parent applied for Medicaid or extra help and got denied, don't skip that box just because you assume it doesn't apply. Some programs need that denial letter to even consider their application complete. And here's that costly mistake I mentioned at the beginning of the video. The number one reason these applications stall isn't eligibility. It's an incomplete application, one missing signature, an outdated prescription or outdated version of the form, a blank box you skipped because you figured it didn't apply. Before anything goes out, go through it line by line. And about the timing. Processing varies a lot. Some programs take a couple of business days once everything's in. Others take a few weeks. And getting approved isn't the same as having the medication in hand. There's often shipping after that too. So don't wait until your parents down to 3 pills. Start the second you know there's a cost problem coming. If you are not sure where to even start, search drug name, manufacturer, patient assistance program, or try Medicare's own Find a Pharmaceutical Assistance Program tool at medicare.gov, or a nonprofit called Needy Meds that keeps a searchable database of these across companies. And one quick thing, nobody should be charging your family a fee just to fill out this application. If someone wants money for that, it's not the real program. Once approved, ask how to re-enrollment works. A lot of these aren't free forever. They need periodic renewal, so the day you get approved, put that date on your calendar. I put together a one-page guide for you, links in the description, with the exact call script and the document checklist. And before I let you go, remember you looked at the number that felt impossible, and now instead of freezing or just putting it on a credit card, you're about to make one phone call that might solve the impossible. Before you assume something's unaffordable, ask how people who can't afford it are supposed to get it. That question alone opens more doors than you think. You are not failing your parent by not knowing this already. Nobody hands you this. You have to go to dig for it, and that's exactly what you're doing right now, for them. Has your family run into cancer drug costs that felt impossible? Drop a 1 if you're just starting the treatment, or 2 if you are in the middle of this fight right now, or 3 if you've been through it and found a program that helped. I read every comment, and yours might be exactly what another adult child struggling to help their parent needs to see this week. If this helped you, please subscribe. Push the like button to help spread the word about expensive drug coverage. You're not alone in this. The free call script and checklist are linked below. A few-minute read could save your family thousands of dollars this month. Stay well. Take care of yourself and your family. See you next week.